Okay, Whirlwind Barbarian with Barber. Also called the Barber Barbarian. Good stats. Let's go for it. Huge explosions. That's the spirit. Huge. It's definitely going. These are like, what, 7 levels higher right now. Yeah, in here it feels so good. Some blood blisters we can just slash ignore. We can hold the Whirlwind, but we don't even have to. We have now very good crit chance. Let's see here, this is when we hold it, boom. It blows it all up. Pretty instantly, actually. That's good, that's good. Here, boom. It's also like decently tanky build now. I added another tanky gem because the offensive gem, we'll go over it in a sec, wouldn't work. But yeah guys, spin to win is still going. Is this event? Yeah. Boom. They just insta-explode. Still triple shout, man. Holding strong, yes? Just go triple shout, they said. It's all fine. More shouts. Boom. Exploded for 2. We're gonna explode these guys here too. So Barber also instantly triggers once Shred Hold is reached. Which makes it really strong too. Now we have some big bad spider to kill. Obviously we can make good use of our snapshot. And boom, she's dead. Almost one shot actually. Oh, we got another key. Let's go. Elites have the suppressor effects. That's fine. That's how it goes. Gonna level our Wrath. Gonna level our stuff. Shred Hold, yeah. That's the word I've been looking for. But yeah, that's the Whirlwind Barbarian, my friends. Let's go over the setup. The Barber Barbarian. It's named after this ring here, which gives this explosion effect. And it has a very nice synergy with the pulling effect of our Whirlwind. So this one, basically, after we do one crit, and we are Whirlwind Barb, like we always crit. We get like a 48% bonus here if I'd had a max roll. And I already have a very high base of like 41%. So we are like 80-something% crit chance. You can get even more if you have a bit better gear. But again, this is like early season, and this is my second character after making the Rogue to 100. I'm doing this Barb. It's like 91 right now. Just like 10-12 hours played or something, so not really that long. And here, this is basically, whenever you crit, it's absorbing all the damage, and it's staggering all of this damage, and then it's releasing it in an explosion that then gets multiplied by 1.4 for every second, up to 3.7 seconds, which is the roll right now. If you want to know how Wrath farming works, I'm going to put a link in the description. And yeah, we can combine this and just pull enemies and then explode them with Whirlwind. That's basically the principle of it. And as we have such high crit chance, we are also playing the Vicious Heart here that increases our crit damage. So if you see here in my stats, actually I need to go back in the dungeon for that. Because I don't know, in town it's not active. So if you're always wondering, like why you don't see your buffs in town, you will see them outside, you see? I suddenly have 400. So what this will do is just buffing our crit damage, and I'm not sure exactly how the calculation is, because I'm going from 330 to like 400. And I should only get like 100 more. So it's multiplying something. So this one is really strong. Because your non-crits, I mean, you're dealing divided by 5 damage anyways. So if those non-crits are dealing divided by 10 damage, it doesn't really matter. And that's why we play this gem. And obviously, like, as I improve my gear, I can get more and more crit chance. You see, I only have like 6 crit chance ward on here because I was running out of like mats and stuff. I'm pretty sure you can reach like 100% crit chance basically when you're channeling if you have really good gear. I'm also missing some on my gloves here, but I also get more when I'm hitting injured enemies. So that's actually when I'm reaching 100% crit chance. And then the combination is really strong. And if I'd have crit damage on all my weapons, I would actually have like 500 plus crit damage. And that's really good. And then the third gem I'm using here right now is just for toughness. And this one seems to be double dipping. It's 18% twice. So the damage reduction, you once get your damage reduced, all damage you take by 18%, and then another 18% is suppressed and added to the explosion here that you see sometimes. So I recommend this gem right now. It just gives a lot of toughness and survivability. And we had a lot of armor and toughness nerfs in general on all classes. So this gem is really strong. I was trying a lot with the Whirlwind snapshots with this gem, Vicious Heart. But unfortunately, this one seems to be bugged right now. So after spending 66 Fury, which would be a very easy task to do in 2 seconds, because I'm actually spending 35 per second, so I would be spending 70 Fury every second when I'm just spinning normally. But what it does here, and I can show this to you, why I don't play this currently, I tried this out a lot, but it just doesn't work properly right now. So if you see me here getting the buff, you see, oh, I did it twice. So this is the, see, this buff doesn't even work, man. Whirlwind is just consuming it. It was a perfect example, actually. So whenever I'm getting this buff, let me get it again. Try to not trigger Berserking, because Berserking is actually removing the buff. Yeah, I have the buff right now. You see the buff? It's this one. Your next non-basic skill has a 35% critical hit strength. But now, if I cast, like, or if I drink my potion, just if I drink my potion, it's consuming the buff. Look, boom, it's gone. And there's like many instances where this happens. And obviously, you want your Whirlwind to consume the buff to receive the 38 crit chance, right? But it's just so bad. And that's why I don't play it right now. I think that has like a major design flaw. And it's not only that, right? So this is drinking a potion that consumes it. And if I press my lunging strike, it's also consuming it, even though it's not a basic skill. Look. As soon as it generates a berserking stack. So like the core mechanic of Barb doesn't even work with this gem. Because whenever you get berserking, like berserking is not a skill or something. And then it just crits it. Look, if I activate what's the berserking, this thing is gone. Same for Warcry, basically. Look, this is the buff. I'm supposed to press Whirlwind, but before I go Whirlwind, I want to do my berserking. But if I press berserking, the buff is already gone. And it's the same for Warcry. We can do another test here. One. Okay, we have the... Okay, while I'm in berserking, like the buff is just auto-consumed all the time for some reason. Okay, here I have the buff, and now I press Warcry, and it's gone. So it's consumed by drinking a health potion, it's consumed by pressing Warcry, it's consumed by generating berserking, and probably 10 more things. So this would be, in theory, a very nice gem for Barbarian. But especially, like, if your health potion, like, it's not critting, right? Basic skills, critical strike chance, and your health potion is critting or something? It's weird. So this one doesn't work. And that's why we play the Brutal Heart here. And this one gives you about 35% damage reduction, because it's benefiting the 18% twice. So you get 82% damage intake, and that gets reduced by another 18%. And yeah, unfortunately my amulet only has 1 to heavy-handed, and I actually have min roll on this item, which is in the, if you're missing the Bold Chieftain, because I know a lot of you are struggling with getting the Bold Chieftain. The Bold Chieftain is actually in Chapter 2, if you're playing a Barbarian, of the Season Pass. So you can just get your Bold Chieftain and then imprint it via the Codex of Power. And I've not again, I only played 10 hours on this Barb so far because I mainly did Rogue this season. So I've only a min roll here. So all this gameplay was with a min roll. But yeah, this is basically the 3 Vicious Heart choices and the reason why I don't choose this heart. There's another heart that consumes life instead of resources and does more damage, that one is also a viable option for sure. But this heart here, I don't recommend right now. I think it can be very nice on double swing or Hoda, but for Whirlwind, it does snapshot, but it's just consumed by way too many things, and realistically, you never have it up. Then we have basic skill damage reduction on our helm right now. We're playing Berserking on our chest here. And keep in mind, this one has a bit of an anti-synergy with our current Barber gem, because it basically prevents me from doing additional critical strikes. But I still get it on every death explosion. And you saw here in this run, my Berserk uptime was still very good because they actually buffed this aspect. It used to be 1 second and 2 seconds for crits. Now it is 2 seconds berserking and 4 seconds per crit. And again, we have like 85% crit chance or something. And 100% against injured enemies. So I think this one is still very good, even though you might think it's not really that nice with Barber because it doesn't synergize that well. But if you're playing like a very density-based dungeon like this one is currently the best dungeon in the game, the Service Liar. It's just like pretty straightforward, has a bunch of spiders and just a bunch of stuff basically in there. So I would still recommend, for speed runs at least, going this. If you want to do higher, you go with the bleed damage reduction one. I'm going to put the planner in the description. Then we have Whirlwind with pull, obviously. You want crit chance, you want Whirlwind ranks, and I went with crit chance against injured enemies, so I just reached the 100% threshold against them. But overall, you're mainly with the Barber hitting healthy enemies. So I think I'd much rather have lucky hit chance here, I just didn't get it. So this was like the second best option. Again, limited resources. Then I have my pants here. This is Numbing Wrath, I get Fortify for each point of Fury I spent. Again, I have triple shouts. They generate my Fury like very fast, and they generate over maximum thanks to our Echoing Fury. And then I have Unstoppable here on the boots. Berserking Duration is also really nice to have. And ideally, instead of Dex, I want damage reduction while injured. Just like I have on the pants, just like I have on my amulet right now. And this is due to the fact, especially if you want to do like high rifts, Blizzard nerfed all the damage reduction throughout the board. Like they nerfed close damage, they nerfed damage reduction while fortified, they nerfed all of that, they nerfed armor. But the one thing that they didn't nerf is damage reduction while injured. And you see here, I have like a 37% damage reduction roll on here. And I also have another 34% damage reduction here. And you can get another 40% damage reduction for like a total of like 80+% damage reduction when you're injured. It's actually, it's insane for like any high content or if you want to push. Then we are playing our usual here, Limitless Rage. This one, Snapshots. We are playing our Expectant. This one also snapshots into a Whirlwind, so I just have to get the stacks once and then just go into Whirlwind. And it also gives us damage reduction here for 6 seconds, which helps a lot early on. You can replace this later and just get some additional defensive bonuses. I think in the push version, you want to play the Iron Skin. I think I have this one. Yeah, Iron Skin, because this one got buffed as well. In push, instead of Berserking, you play Iron Skin, and then you play the 28 damage reduction here on the helm. And then you don't play Lunging Strike, you play Kick. I'm going to make a separate planner for that as well. And then last but not least, we have Edge Master here. This one also snapshots. If you have a full Fury at the start of your Berserking, you're just going to snapshot that. And then this one obviously has a very nice synergy with all the crit bonuses that we have. Like we have crit that we need here, we have crit that we need here, and we get 48 crit. And yeah, it just like snapshots it all. Then we have the stats. So right now we have a lot of crit damage thanks to our gem. And a lot of crit chance too. And yeah, Vulnerable could be a bit higher at the moment. I don't really have the best weapons yet. Again, I only played about 10 hours on this class. But I will play a lot more, and I will also do a Necromancer. I'm really much looking forward to that. Expertise, we are playing Axe and Mace. That's pretty standard. We get 1.15 multiplier. On Mace, we also get a 1.15 multiplier, and we have a chance to get Fury. And double the Fury chance when we're Berserking. And again, we're Berserking all the time. Right now in speeds, I'm playing Lunging Strike with Berserking. Playing Whirlwind with the increased damage. Playing Pressure Point. No, this one you might not need. Because, again, the Barber prevents you from doing lucky hits in that period of time where you're accumulating. It still works, like, on the bosses very nicely. But you could like respec these into something else. Then we're playing Rallying Cry, Challenging Shout, War Cry, nothing special here. We have the Shout synergies. You can go a lot more offensive by adding No Mercy if you want and just removing some toughness, but I like to be a pretty tanky boy as well. And then obviously Prolific Fury for more Fury generation. And if you want more damage, you can also go counter offensive because we are fortified all the time. We have Warbringer, we have Numbing Wrath, very easy. And unfortunately right now I only have +1 heavy-handed on my amulet, 3 in heavy-handed, 3 in wallop, 3 in concussion, big damage, big stuns. It should be pretty good. So I don't have the stun multiplier right now because they nerfed it. I still like having the stuns just for crowd control, but you could remove those 3 points or add, you know, you could put the Whirlwind pull on the helm as well if you want a more offensive setup, and then just put the 1.2 multiplier against stunned enemies on your bracers or something, if you want to do that. Then we have Wrath of the Berserk, gives us more damage, and Unbridled Rage. This one is more than double damage. And the Fury Spend we can easy neglect because we just out-heal it with even more Fury. Then we have Exploit here in our Paragon boards. Nothing crazy here. Hunter Killer, you know this Paragon board from my previous videos. Marshall, Warbringer I just spec into. These nodes are pretty nice. Fury on kill. Wrath that I'm leveling right now. We have Imbiber as we're healthy a lot. Pillage for Vulnerable. Right now, obviously there's another Paragon board up here that I can add for Undaunted. But as I'm only level 90, I don't have the points yet, so I just spec into Inner Branch, and I'm probably going to spec into Tenacity as well, because this node is insane too. And right now I'm playing the Territory here for damage to close enemies, and that's how my boards are looking right now. These are my stats. If we buff, actually, we have quite a lot of attack power already. At least when we're healthy, we have a lot of damage. And yeah, these are the hearts. Hope this overview helped you and this Whirlwind guide. I will be doing a lot more content in the next days, so stay tuned for that. Take care. See you soon. If you liked this video, make sure to subscribe, leave a like or a comment. I'm also live on Twitch almost every day, so come and say hi.